Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to an Amit Sengupta video. This one on the untold story of the Ani Airbase. Why India left it. Where was this airbase left at? In Tajikistan, of all places, up north of Afghanistan, south of Kyrgyzstan, east of Uzbekistan, and west of China. Interesting. So yeah, Amit Sengupta, great channel. I've reacted to one of their videos before. This one seems rather interesting. It's right up my alley, so to speak. Link to the video will be in the description down below. Please go and take a look at it. So yeah, once India's only overseas military footing has been quietly vacated after the 2022 lease expiry and a decision by Dushnab not to renew under pressure from Russia and China. Probably more so China than Russia, but we don't know. It's the untold story that we're going to learn today. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, again, link down below. Let's get into it.
India once had its own airbase outside the country. Yes, you heard that right. Not in the Himalayas,
I remember reading this before.
not in the Indian Ocean, but far away in Central Asia, in a small but strategically crucial country of Tajikistan. This base is called the Aini Air Base.
The Aini. What did I call it? The Ani? The Aini Air Base?
It was India's first overseas military base, a symbol of power, ambition and strategy. But after nearly 2 decades, India quietly walked away from it. So what really happened? Why did India build it in the first place? And why India had to leave? So the story begins in the early 90s.
It'd be beneficial to have now, I'm sure. It's unfortunate that they left. It's a good strategic position for sure. I mean, it's so central to everything here.
You all know Soviet Union officially collapsed in 1991. Tajikistan became a newly independent country. There was an old broken down Soviet airbase near the capital Dushanbe. This place is called Aini, located about 10 to 15 kilometers away from the city. It was in bad shape, abandoned runways, rusted hangars and broken control towers. But when India looked at the map, it saw something that others did not. Aini wasn't just any airbase. It sat very close to Afghanistan's Wakha corridor, that narrow stretch of land touching Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
And this is a very, very vital position because China is indeed, as far as I remember, they were building a network through here, some infrastructure, road, railway, that sort of thing.
And China border. For India, this was pure geopolitical gold. It meant, if managed right, India could have a presence right near Pakistan's and China.
Oh, true. Yeah, true. They could have a better outlook over the POK here.
Backyard. So, in the early 2000s, when US invaded Afghanistan under the name War on Terror, India made its move. India signed a deal with Tajikistan to revive and jointly operate the Aini Air Base. In 2002, Indian engineers and personnel from the Border Roads Organization arrived and started rebuilding this airstrip. And this wasn't a small renovation. India spent around $70 to $100 million on upgrades, extending the runway to 3.2 kilometers so it could handle big aircraft like the Illusion 76 and even fighter jets like Sukhoi 30.
They've put this much money and effort into it. Who's operating it now?
MKI. India built fuel depots, aircraft shelters, and a new control tower and housing for the troops. By 2010, the base was completely transformed, modern, operational, and ready for any kind of mission. But why was India so invested in this remote Central Asian base? The answer lies in Afghanistan. In the late 90s and early 2000s, India supported the Northern Alliance, a group fighting the Taliban regime. Aini became a lifeline for India's support. Supplies, medicines, and logistics all moved through here.
I didn't know this. Are there any videos that go over this portion of geopolitical history? I didn't know about this.
In fact, India even set up a military hospital in Farkhor, another town in Tajikistan. That's where Ahmad Shah Massoud, the legendary Northern Alliance leader, was taken after an assassination attempt just 2 days before 9/11. He didn't survive, but this event shows how deeply India was involved in the Afghan conflict.
I didn't know that.
Quietly but firmly. For many years, Aini Air Base gave India eyes and reach in a region dominated by rivals. It was a silent message that India wasn't just a South Asian player anymore. It had stepped into Central Asia's chessboard. By 2010, India had around 150 to 200 Indian military personnel stationed at Aini Air Base. For a while, even Sukhoi fighter jets operated from there. It wasn't a massive deployment, but it was symbolic. It meant India could watch, respond, and even assist in regional operations, especially during crisis in Afghanistan. Now fast forward to 2021 when the Taliban took over Afghanistan again, Aini Airbase became crucial once more. India used the base to conduct evacuation missions for its diplomats and citizens stranded in Kabul. It was a reminder of why the airbase mattered, not just for war, but also for rescue and humanitarian missions. But then something changed. In 2022, India officially handed back the Aini Airbase to Tajikistan. The
So India wraps up operations on the Tajikistan Aini Air Base after over 20 years of strategic presence. India began forging strategic military cooperation with Tajikistan in the late 1990s. So
Indian
they
Ministry of External Affairs
Tajikistan has it again, but again, who's actually utilizing it?
confirmed that the bilateral agreement for the base had simply expired and was not renewed. On paper, it sounded routine, but behind the scenes, there was geopolitics at play. It is being said that both China and Russia had quietly pressured Tajikistan to take the airbase back from India. China did not like the idea of Indian jets flying near its western border, especially as it expanded its Belt and Road Initiative in Central Asia. And Russia, which still sees Central Asia as its backyard, has long opposed any non-regional military presence in the former Soviet states. Now caught between these two big powers, Tajikistan simply asked India to step back, and India diplomatically did. If you see, it was China who pressured Tajikistan to not renew the airbase lease with India. Why? Because if you're aware, China has built a secret military base in Tajikistan. There are satellite images showing multiple buildings and large infrastructure.
So is is Tajikistan loan trapped, debt trapped by China? I mean, they would have to be if they got Belt and Road Initiative stuff in there. That's China's MO. They utilize the Belt and Road Initiative to go through. They build up the infrastructure, and they basically own that country because the country is just in so much debt to China that they can never pay it back. And then they facilitate that by getting underhanded and schemy things like rare earth minerals. This where China gets all the rare earth minerals from Africa because they've loan trapped so many countries there, and those countries are like, all right, here, take our mines, operate our mines, so we don't have to pay so much back, and so on and so forth. An air base or a secret military base in Tajikistan.
Compounds that suggest Chinese military presence near the Tajik-Afghan border. The exact place is called Shaimak. Here's the place. Now you may have a question why Tajikistan wants Chinese military presence. Due to the Taliban's rule in Afghanistan, there is a potential security threat that could spread to neighboring countries including Tajikistan.
Well, I mean, but if India was helping, they could have gone to India for that sort of help, right?
If you know, at one time, all these Central Asian countries were part of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union, which is today's Russia, used to take care of these security concerns. Russia still maintains a military presence in Central Asia through the Collective Security Treaty Organization Agreement. Because Central Asian countries face security concerns like terrorism, drug trafficking, and border disputes. But today, Russia's involvement in Ukraine has diverted its attention and resources, potentially weakening its ability to fully address these concerns in Central Asia. Now, this situation has created a sort of vacuum.
So now China's stepped in and taken that spot.
That China wants to fill. Groups like the Islamic State of Khorasan province operate in Afghanistan and they pose a threat to regional security. Tajikistan's government worries about these groups recruiting fighters or launching attacks across the border. Afghanistan is world's largest producer of opium, and Tajikistan is a transit route for drug trafficking.
It's Afghanistan. Interesting. I thought Pakistan was the largest producer. Pakistan must be pretty high up there though, right? Poppies. So oh, heroin. Okay. I was like, what illicit drugs is formed out of poppies? After opium is refined into heroin, it leaves the country through three main routes. Southern route through Pakistan to India, the Middle East, Africa. Western route through Iran to Turkey and Europe. Northern route through Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan to Russia and Europe. I don't understand drugs. I really don't. It just seems so pointless.
And this is already worsening under the Taliban rule. And then just imagine anytime there could be instability in Afghanistan, and that would lead to an influx of refugees into Tajikistan, straining resources. So Tajikistan has no other option to increase its military presence along the border with Afghanistan. And to seek security cooperation, Tajikistan has no other option but to cooperate with either Russia or China. So due to all these reasons, Tajik government has allowed China to build a secret military base. And Tajikistan requested India to leave the Aini Air Base after the bilateral lease
How much we want to bet China uses that airbase now?
agreement for joint operation expired in 2022. And India concluded removal of its assets and personnel from the base by the end of 2022, with final withdrawal wrapping up by early 2023. So you can see the timing. United States left Afghanistan in August 2021 and handed the full control of the country to Taliban. And that's when
It's the probably one of the worst things Joe Biden's ever done, right?
Tajik government started having concerns. And that is when China, Russia and Tajikistan had a talk among themselves. And that is how Indian government was asked to leave the airbase by the end of 2022. So Russia and China both were involved in this decision. But primarily the facts and intentions are more pointing towards China, who must have asked Tajik government to let India go. China's major problem in this region is the Uyghur Muslims. Since the day America left Afghanistan in the hands of the Taliban, China has
Interesting way he pronounced Uyghur. It's Uyghur, isn't it?
faced significant issues. It is the potential spread of Islamic radicalization into their territory through the Uyghur Muslims. This has become a huge problem for the ruling Chinese Communist Party. Now, China's problem with Islamic radicalization can also be seen in Tajikistan's internal policies if you analyze it carefully. For example, Tajikistan banned the wearing of hijab in 2024, and that too being more than 90% Muslim population country. The Tajik government has also banned men from keeping long beards. The police were forcibly shaving off men's long beards. Hundreds of mosques have been shut. The Tajik government has also said
Based? Wow, Tajikistan's kind of based. What the heck?
teaching delivered by imams must fall within state-issued guidelines, and minors are not allowed to enter places.
It's crazy. Like countries like Tajikistan can see this, and they're he said they're 90% Muslim. Tajikistan with 90% Muslim population. Countries like Tajikistan, 90% Muslim population, they've pushed back against some of these more radical Islamic, things, and yet places like Europe just welcome it. They don't know. They don't know the extremes of Islamic radicalization. I mean, okay, there are a few countries that have started banning like hijabs in public. Sweden and Denmark, I believe, and I think Spain has it on the table as well. But other than that, it's like just full doors wide open, and it's wild because there's even like well, gosh, there was one of the runners ups for the Pope. It was a guy from Africa. I can't quite remember his name off the top of my head, but he recently came out and made a statement saying that the enemy's already within the walls. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like Tajikistan, man, like 90% Muslim, and they're pushing back against these like extremist tendencies.
Country. The Tajik government has also banned men from keeping long beards. The police were forcibly shaving off men's long beards. Hundreds of mosques have been shut. The Tajik government has also said teaching delivered by imams must fall within state-issued guidelines, and minors are not allowed to enter places of worship without permission. Those parents sending their children to study religion abroad are also penalized. So if
Wow.
you look at all these religious policies, or you could say reforms, made by the Tajikistan's government, it is very similar to what China has done with the Uyghur Muslims in the Xinjiang province. So the
Well, no, it's not, because they trying to put them in concentration camps or reform camps. They rounded them up and put them in reform camps, and they disappeared a lot of them as well. It's way more totalitarian, extreme.
point is that the strict laws that the Tajikistan government is enforcing on its people can be seen as a result of their efforts to build close relations with China. And this is where
Maybe.
Tajikistan has a
Again, Tajikistan's probably loan trapped to them.
huge problem with the Afghan Taliban government. And the only solution to Tajik government can only be given by China as of now. And China is also a major investor in Tajikistan. China's BRI projects bring much needed infrastructure improvements and foreign direct investment. So keeping all this in mind,
Do you see this? Look at this road. Bam. Directly to the Aini Airbase. The Chinese operated Aini Airbase. 100%.
bring much needed infrastructure improvements and foreign direct investment. So keeping all this in mind, China has built this secret military base in Shaimak, Tajikistan. Now, with the closure of Aini Air Base, India has not only lost its only overseas air base, but also somewhat of a military foothold in Central Asia. While it is certainly a setback for India, but then China's growing presence in Tajikistan comes with its own set of reasons, shaped by Tajikistan government's priorities and compulsions. The Tajik government currently faces strong need for security, economic support, and protection against threats like regional instability, terrorism, and drug trafficking. These are the factors that have driven Tajikistan closer to Beijing. I hope you found this video informative. Thanks for
I
watching, and
did.
I'll see you in the next one.
I found this video incredibly informative. I love learning about stuff like this. Wow. China 100% operates that base now. 100%. 100%. India put $100 million into refurbishing it. Now China operates it. This channel's a gold mine. World runs on money, not on high ideals. India need to understand. Two things are clear in politics. In geopolitics, there's no such thing as true friendship, only strategic partnerships. India still has ways to go before asserting its global leadership value. The fact that Tajikistan feels China can protect it better and consequently make India get out is telling. Unfortunate, yeah. Very unfortunate. Awesome video. You cannot have a base just for military. You need to bring economy, safety to the customer. India's passive developing country took a step back for the good. This is a huge loss for India. It's a massive loss. Absolutely tragic loss. Like, it's such a strong foothold. It's such a strategically strong foothold. May its failure of diplomatic at 2022 WRT China and Russia combined. This is like a fever dream. I can't. What is this even saying? May it is the failure of diplomatic at 2022 WRT China and Russia combine Lily. Tajik government is pretty impressive with their laws, not gonna lie. That's what I'm saying. Like, based. It's based, man. Like, you don't allow things that breed extremism, right? Like, sure. I mean, they're 90% Muslim, so the Muslims are the ones that agreed to it. There are certain things, certain like extremism in any religion, right? You shouldn't allow them to fester. Then you get countries and situations like Pakistan, Afghanistan, the Taliban, stuff like that, right? Iran, you know, Sharia law, stuff like that. Not walked away, got kicked out. Simple. This is a complete failure of our foreign policy. Knowledgeable. Thank you. Informative. What about that airbase? I don't know. What about the far core airbase? China is working for its country, but our politician is busy in mocking opposition and acting. Dude, India was kicked out. Thank you for existing, or thank you for an excellent update. International media never acknowledges our presence. Well, I don't think this is necessarily something that the international media would acknowledge, especially considering it's from 2022. I mean, maybe it did back then. I wasn't super big into it at the time. Sir, do one clip on Zohran Mamdani, the new Indian American mayor of New York. I mean, here's the thing with him. Like, a lot of those policies are going to fail. They were tried in Kansas City. I lived in Kansas City. They were tried in Kansas City. They failed. It's unfortunate for him, but it's unfortunate for the people living there. It really is, because all this is going to do is he's going to implement these like socialist policies. He's going to push taxing, the wealthy to an extreme, to the point where the wealthy are going to leave, right? And then who are they going to tax? They're going to tax the middle class, and the middle class is not going to have enough money to leave. So this whole thing, I mean, I've never liked New York anyways. I really didn't even care about this mayoral race. I really, it doesn't matter. The other Muslim guy lost though, up in Michigan. Oh, was it Michigan or Chicago? I don't remember. But yeah, the Omar Fateh or whatever his name was, the one that was like the Somali lover. Well, he's Somalian. The So Obama let in like such a large amount of Somali refugees and immigrants that they've completely switched and flipped the entire demographic of the state that they're in, and now you have like all the politicians going and speaking in Somali and waving the Somalian flag, and even the state flag has started to look like the Somali flag. Anyways, so much loss in the last decade. This shows how our mainstream media is lying to us, showing fake improved image of us, whereas we are still far behind to be a world leader. I don't know about that. Is strategic handover smoothly to Russia? Is Russia using it though? Because it looks to me like China's got a road directly to it. Hence, Chinese influence is much more evident in geopolitics. I think this is because Indian people are becoming CEOs of American tech giants. We are nothing in global arena. Just three countries make difference: China, Russia, USA. That's it. Be practical and focus on realistic and achievable foreign goals rather than idealizing ourselves. Vishwa Guru, so-called Vishwa Guru. Obviously, we are not at the level of US or China, but it's not wrong to at least have goals. Love you, sir. India got better options. Modi government total failure in foreign policy. India got better offer from Taliban. Modi 360 failed foreign policy. India was spying for USA. I mean, they might have had connection. I mean, there's a defensive pact, right? We've been operating defensive pact for the past 20 years, since what, 2005. We renewed it again for another 10 years, and it was to trade information and intelligence. So potentially, when are we getting closer to Taliban itself? Why we need a base at Aini anymore? That's why Mr. Duvall has agreed and supported the closure of this base, and Modi government agreed. Think twice before you even think of occupying Trump's airbase. Okay. China knows how to deal with religion of peace. No. They threw them in a concentration camp, and that's not good. They round them all up like they were lesser than. Not the way to do it. Okay, guys. Link to the video will be in the description down below. Go and take a look at it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye.